3:30. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this game here on Secret Spring. We're on the left-hand side of the map, playing for SP8472, or Species 8472. I'm going to assume that is a massive Trekkie reference. It's Headbeagle, and his opponent on the far side of the thing, playing for the Art of War. At least I think that's what that stands for. It's Jojjjocraft. Alright. By the way, thank you to those who've been sending in emails. Jojo sent in 2 emails, but you sent them in 2 different emails, so I can filter them much more easily. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, plus the legacy ones, which I may just not get to at this rate. So thank you for all your replays. Please do continue to send them in. TAW. I'm fairly certain TAW stands for the Art of Warfare. Let's have a look. The Art of Warfare it is. And this Protoss player is going to show us the Art of Protoss Warfare, where his opponent is going for Iraq's no wall, because it's not actually strictly speaking necessary against a Protoss player. You can get away without doing it. And yeah, looks like a Reaper timing. Looks like a fairly standard opener. Nothing unnormal here. Jojjjocraft getting himself a bit of a scout. By the way, Jojjjocraft was the guy who sent us in this replay, so thank you to him. Please do continue to send them in. Again, as I always say, if I'm going to start running out of time to play all of them, to run all of them, I may have to start charging a fee to put them to the top of the thing. But again, I'll try not to do that, because that still feels kind of like guilt-inducing. I don't know, man. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. I don't know. Is that even a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Turns out role-playing on Tuesday is sadly off, but that's fine. We'll manage. And in Species 8472's Headbeagle. But, he's getting this around. Getting this around and then pulling back before doing any hull damage, which is actually kind of pointless. If you're going to do that sort of thing, you really need to focus in and actually take out the shields and then kill the probe. But the Reaper's going to be doing its best to go out there, and if the Protoss player sees that going in, he's going to be able to do something about it. I mean, he's getting a Zealot out, and I can't say I like the Zealot, actually, if I'm quite honest. But he hasn't got out anything that can take this thing on, because the Cyber Core is not yet done, and the Reaper is going to be down in his base fairly soon. It's going to actually potentially be able to get some damage done, because even though it's possible that he'll make a Stalker straight away, as soon as this thing's finished, the Stalker's not going to be done for ages. What's being made? What's being made? There's no Stalker being made. This is potentially Jojo getting a serious edge up on his opponent. And also the proxy barracks. Yeah, this is going to hurt. There is nothing on the build that can even fight this Reaper. The Zealot would be nice, but it can't keep up. Is damage being done? Yes, damage is being done, but not massively consistently. Oh, there we go. Oh, the surround! It could be real, but it's not. Thing is, again, he's popping down, popping up, and killing off probes because they can't fight him, because the only thing that's here to protect them is a Zealot, which can get kited forever if it does. And he needs to make a Stalker. There we go. The Stalker finally on the build. Oh, lordy, that took a long time. The thing is, this Brax up here needs to actually do something or go home. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. He's actually making a reactor. So he's going to have the ability to make double Marines inside his opponent's main. The thing is, if the Mothership Core doesn't deal with it and the Stalker doesn't deal with it, this Reaper could do a lot of damage. There we go. And no hull damage really done to this Zealot. 3 damage done, which is not a massive amount. The Zealot starting with 1 armor. And the bunker going up, so if Protoss doesn't deal with this, it's going to turn into a real pain in the ass. But no, it looks like he's going to go up there and kill it off. If he actually does, oh my god, oh my giddy aunt! If this worker actually finishes building this building, then the 2 Marines that get into it could be really quite annoying. In fact, if he goes down there, he needs to pull these things back. He needs to pull them back. Send the Reaper in. Send the Reaper in. No, why would you do that? Send the Reaper back in once you know where they are. Oh my god. That moment, Autotos is still up in workers, but that's because the Terran is not macroing properly. The thing is, the Terran has a natural, and it's got loaded workers, and that's part of the problem. Right there is right there. What the shit is this? Oh, la la la, Jojo, what are you doing to your opponent? But the Reaper potentially getting sniped. Will he get away? Go home, Rex. You are drunk. The thing is that Jojo got kind of lucky there. He actually saw that happening. I think if he hadn't scouted it properly, he would have been in a world of pain. But no, the Terran player's way behind now. I mean, he's got a natural up faster, but he isn't using it. And these workers are loaded, and they should not be so. Come on, get it done, get it done. Actually, what's in this thing? Do you see it? Can we actually see into the... We can't actually see into the CC, which is slightly unfortunate. There we go. He finally realises he's got problems. There he is. But at this point, the army supply tells a tale, and it's a bloody tale as well. I mean, he started building on the barracks as it got attacked. No, he started building the buildings around it before it got attacked, and then the Stalker and the Zealot managed to clean everything up. But at this stage, actually, our Protoss player is doing a really nice job of just staying ahead. Terran really needed this orbital a little faster, and really... I mean, this is the point. I shouldn't be mean. I should remember this is Silver League play, which is why we're seeing the mules dropping right there. But Jojjjocraft, I think, is a little better than Silver. 1 gate robo, 2 gate robo, 3 gate robo. Fairly standard build. And another gate was it's 4 gate robo. The thing is, at this stage, the Forge is good and we'll get some nice upgrades up, but they really need to be... They're going to be behind the Terran's upgrades. The problem for the Terran is his army is so small. He attacked and proxy racks at the same time, so it was possible to just miss that, I suppose. Yeah, Jojjjocraft saying that in the chat. Yeah. Also, this Rax is still proxied. It's still not gone home. I don't know why it's over here. But yeah, double gas coming up in the natural, so we're expecting to see some kind of tech play, because this is getting up towards the kind of gas where if you put 3 and 3, Jojo, there's a thing to notice. If you're going to go heavy on the gas, go heavy on the gas, but it's all good. Also, now is the time, that's it, now's the time to be rallying up to the natural, because you want to saturate that as fast as you can. Getting the +1 upgrade is also good. Stim is on the way for our Terran play, though, which means that this +1/+1 stim timing could be absolutely brutal. If he actually goes for it. The thing is, he doesn't have the army, and the Terran army is so much smaller at the moment, so much smaller. But Headbeagle going for a starport, trying to get himself up some reacted starports, reacted medevacs. Yes. But Jojo at this point, still with a commanding lead, also high-sec auto-tracking. How often does that happen? +1 range to auto turrets, missile turrets, planetary fortresses, and point defense drones. That's kind of nice, but I'm wondering what the point of it is. We are seeing Colossus Tech coming down, and the Templar and the Twilight Council as well. Potentially just for +2, because it turns out that once you get +2 up, life gets a lot easier. And you can't get +2 for Protoss without a Twilight Council. I realise, by the way, this might sound like a bit of a strange cast, but it is nearly midnight, and I am actually been casting solidly, well, no, on and off, but mostly solidly for the last 12 hours. And now... Stim nearly on its way. The Colossus play revealed to us, but not to the Terran player, who has no idea what his opponent is actually doing. He may have seen this robotics bait, but he didn't necessarily click on it, so he might not know what it is. And my elbow really hurts. That's okay. By the way, thank you to the 18 people in the chat. Some of you from Morky TV, some from Halpal, some from Cladetics, some from Harbinger SC2, and some from Sinsval's Finest. Thank you, all of you, for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast for you today. The Tech Lab going down, so some more potential for Marauders, which are actually really quite good against Protoss. If we're looking at worker numbers, actually, technically speaking, the worker lead is only in the... Actually, no, it's exactly even if we're counting 2 mules. Because mules are equivalent to roughly 4 workers, if they're on the right mineral patch, I think. But we are seeing what looks like an aggressive proxy pylon coming down from Jojjjocraft. Will Jojo be able to get some serious pain done on his enemies? Well, yes and no. I mean, he's got a long way to go around to kill off these rocks to be able to get through. Because, technically speaking, the only easy way through is this one. I mean, this is the way through. And actually, this Hallucinated Phoenix is a really good way of checking out what your opponent's doing for free, basically, because the energy regens on the sentries. He will see that. He may not realise that the long-bolt missiles from the turrets flew an extra range before they landed. But potential for warp prison play, always a good one if you can get in there, especially because there's not much defending this natural beyond the fact that there's I don't know why he's putting a pylon down there as well. I mean, the warp prism can do that by itself. In fact, there we go. And what I imagine we'll see now is some zealots warped in with charge, because charge is nearly done. 10 seconds away for charge. So by the time he's finished warping in units here, as soon as these pylons finish... Looked like the Baronet started just as the bunker got salvaged. Ah, fair enough. But 4 Zealots warping are going to be dropped into this base, and they actually might do a lot of damage, because while the turret might even shoot down the warp prism, it is actually going to shoot down the warp prism, and this is the benefit of going for the +1 range on the... For some reason you're going for +1 range on the turrets, is you have +1 range on your turrets. But right now these Zealots are actually doing a lot of damage. But they are derping somewhat. And that right there brings the total up to 11 workers killed, which puts the Protoss actually significantly ahead. 16 workers ahead, so effectively only 8 workers ahead. But we are seeing tanks from Headbeagle. Twitch has been logging me out a bunch as well. The range for the Colossus, by the way, coming up, and this is going to be crucially important. There's only one unit really on the Terran base that can outrange a ranged Colossus, and that's a siege tank. Thankfully, it does actually seem to have one. Taking 4 seconds to run out of tank mode. I didn't actually know that. I had not timed that one out. But the Zealots have been warped in again. And this tech lab burns, it will burn fast. Yep, there we go. And the bio will munch these guys. Not necessarily worth, I don't think. Just for tech lab. I think going for this mineral line again would probably have been better. But he is actually fortifying up with turrets. Headbeagle doesn't realise he's so far behind he can't afford to spend money on turrets like this. So he's going to build money on turrets like this. It's also cutting into his gas mining, because his gas mining is actually really not great at the moment. He's got 4 workers on gas right now. Which, given that his opponent can warp in and just go crush him, I have a feeling is about to happen exactly like that. There's 2 tanks, though. The tanks could be something. And the drop is real. The question is it going out at precisely the wrong time? Is it? Is it really? Well, possibly not. I mean, we are seeing +2 coming up for Protoss ground weapons, and I wonder whether it's worth waiting for that before you go in. I don't really know. I don't think it is, to be honest. But our Terran player is still potentially committing to this drop. Where's it gone? Oh, wait, no, that was a B, not a V. Let's not do that again. Well, he's dropped into his... Oh, I like it. He's got around the contain by dropping workers over here. That's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cute. It's a planetary fortress, which is good. We like planetary fortresses. Oh, the drop attempting to go in, but there's turrets everywhere. There's literally only one way to get around all these turrets. And that's to go right the way to the back. Oh, they go right the way to the back. Because if he gets past this one turret, if he can just get past it, but I don't know if he can. There's a lot of space down here, though. Would be worth going for that. Or he could just rush the front, and I think that might be what he does in the end. Because at this stage, Jojjjocraft has such a big army by comparison. He's 108 to 49, and the tanks are good, but I don't know if they're, that good. There's no Vikings up, which means that the turrets are basically the only really anti-Colossus weapons that there are in this thing. I guess we'll see. Zealots moving to the front. Are they going to go in? The problem is this is actually a relatively fortified area. I mean, in theory, it should be possible to break in. There are a couple of Vikings out now. More Vikings being produced. I think the Colossus have been spotted. The Zealots definitely have. The question is, will the Terran realise that... Oh, that's a hallucination. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. He's actually going to push up there and actually lose a bunch of Zealots. Which, ooh. That may not have been the most comfortable thing he ever did. I love how this barracks is still producing Marines, by the way. Oh, but that may have betrayed the position of the 3rd. And that means he may end up losing it fairly swiftly. There's not enough workers on here to repair this thing with a worker in it. Planetary Fortress on the ground, actually doing a decent amount of damage, but I think there might be enough damage incoming that it won't make any difference. Planetary Fortress trying to get some stuff down there, but no. The turret's still not quite good enough. Blink now working on. But again, the turrets are so real. Oh, wow, the Colossus accidentally discovered this Rax. And unfortunately, Marines expecting no mercy from the Protoss units. And that's how you kill a Rax with a massive army. The thing is, the tanks are still there, and the Zealot needs to... No. The thing is, if the Terran army moves out in the wrong direction now, it can end up getting killed rather brutally. And... Oh, he knows his base is free. And therefore he's going to move it back. The thing is, if the Protoss army pushes down, I mean... Jojjocraft is... Oh, Jojo. Careful there. Keep your army together. You don't want it splitting up now. Actually, it would be a good idea to get rid of these rocks, because maneuverability is a good thing. Stalker's going in and still suiciding against the tanks. So this pylon is about to get found and killed. Might take a moment, but there it is. There it goes. The thing is, the army's now out of position, and had the Protoss army been in place, this would have been a good way to snipe the shit out of it. But, as it happens, Jojjjocraft just going for the macro, getting an immortal up. Because it turns out tanks are good, but immortals are good against tanks. It's the way forward. It is the splash damage. Well, it's anti-splash damage, really, because they take the full shot, and they're also fairly broad, so units don't necessarily cluster up around them too much. But then again, the Colossi do walk all over the top of everything. I think the problem that Jojjjocraft here has is not knowing when to kill, not having the scent of the blood in the water. But the thing is, I mean, Jojo's going for +3 ground weapons, which is going to be done in 20 seconds. Whereas his opponent is still on 2-2. Yeah. Terran player wanting to go into attack. Thing is, if he gets caught here, he might end up getting wrecked. Just a little bit wrecked. He might try and turn into a Tyrannosaurus and then be Tyrannosaurus wrecked. Oh, but the tank is sieging, which might push the Protoss into an all-in position. And yep, that's how you do it. That's how you attack into a Terran. You just get your Colossi and go. The Stalker's trying to move up. But no, the tank's doing too much. Oh, nice pick off on the Viking there. And the thing is, Jojjjocraft has enough units up to just go, I think. I think he could just walk over this army. His upgrades are good enough. The tanks don't have any upgrades, really. The Bio's got upgrades, but the tanks really don't. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. I don't know, Kev. By the way, if you're watching the stream and you have not pressed the follow button, please do. It will make my life so much nicer. Warp Prism, by the way, knows this base is here and is potentially going to warp in some units. If it doesn't get murdered first, it's actually not going to make it long enough to see those units finish. That's why you need to warp in away and drop them on top. But the tank's still here, and Jojjjocraft actually suffering some serious anxiety about going into this. Oh, he needs to attack though, because his base is under threat. And this is where Bio melts a little, because the Colossi are so numerous at this stage. Yeah, at this point the tanks can be killed off fairly quickly. Attack move! Just attack move! That's literally all you need to do. There we go. And thus we see what happens when you try and shoot tanks and immortals. The thing is, there is still a Marauder and a Marine in this base, and they really need to be killed before they take out this Robo! I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. No, it's not going to happen. The Robo goes down. The thing is, the production on the other side here is still not the best. Because he's not taking advantage of the fact that he has so much stuff. I think the Terran's running out of money. Oh, lordy. So if Jojo just goes and kills off this base of his, the 20 army supply that Terran's been able to muster is really not going to be enough to stop this, I don't think. The tank's nearly done. Jojjjocraft is scared. But you know how this game ends, Jojjjocraft. You're in it. And you're up by nearly 3 times his supply. I don't know, Kev. This could be difficult. Terrans can be tricky when cornered. And it looks like this base might just flat out die. Choo-choo. And then there's the Storm. Is the Storm actually finished? Storm is done, but it doesn't seem to be needed for these guys. All the crazy. The thing is, tanks seemed a good idea. They kept Jojjjocraft at bay for quite some time. And now the hostile pylon, the aggressive pylon is there. Trying to knock the rocks down to protect your own base, but there's a drop on the way in. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Actually, that could be really bad. Because at this stage, there is nothing to stop that happening going further in. The thing is, the drop that's going in is actually going to be way, way ahead of any forces that come after it. So you're going to have to warp in units at home. At home! At home! Warp them in! Photon overcharge is a good start, actually. Although, did you notice there that Viking was picked up? I noticed that. The main is going to go down. There is no real way to stop that right now. Even with a concerted effort, unless the units stop targeting it, which they won't. Warp in! There we go. Brotos overcharge, not necessarily required here. Might be required over here. That said, there are cannons on this base. And a zealot. The zealot will make all the difference. Oh, the Viking getting killed off horribly, and there's a feedback to finish the job. The thing is, at this point, it's hardly worth putting the main back. I mean, there's a bit of gas left in there, but you might as well long-distance mine that shit. And at this stage, our Terran player wants to put a base up, but literally doesn't have the money to do anything at all. I mean, this base is gone. This base is going very, very quickly. Although, check it out, 17 workers to 48, and mineral income is roughly the same, because mules. Vikings coming out now, trying to do some damage, but the number of Colossi is just stupendous. The tanks, and the tanks going down to Zealots. The Colossi being protected by the Blink Stalkers right there, and GG says Headbeagle. He may have been the finest of beagles, but unfortunately, he could not stop this attack.